So I'm Kathy. I am 62 years old. I'm very proud of that fact. I am a painter. I've been painting for about 5 years. Prior to painting, I was a physician. I practiced medicine. I did OBGYN, and I practiced medicine for 31 years, I think. But through my whole life, I've always done creative things, and I really wanted to expand my creativity, the creative part of my life. I think I chose a surgical field because I really liked that. I liked the tactile, that's kind of the common thread, is this sort of tactile nature of doing things with my hand. There are all these different medical fields, and some of them are really intellectual, and you're just kind of talking and thinking and expounding on culture. One of the things that I found in common with a lot of surgeons was that they also were interested, a lot of them were also artists.
Yeah.
I can still remember the first time I made an incision in someone's abdomen, that feeling of cutting through their skin. There was kind of a connection between the work and the creation. And OBGYN is particularly, OBGYN is kind of an interesting field because you spend so much time every day talking with your patients and explaining to them things and helping them figure out problems. That's really what doctors do. They solve problems. And that's what artists do. You solve a problem with, you want to paint a picture that has, that looks like an abstract landscape. So you have to figure out how to do that, how to paint something that looks like something that really isn't that thing. There's a lot of connection between those two things. The part about feeling deeply was, as a physician, was that I feel like I was able to make some really powerful connections with people, because in order for you to really take care of people well, you have to connect with them on a human basis. It's not just all about prescribing them this medicine or saying they need this surgery and then going and doing the technical part of it. You have to establish connections with people. I think it's both easier and harder for somebody who really feels things deeply inside them, like I always have, to connect with people. You're much more vulnerable as an artist, releasing these things out into the world. It's like they're your soul is sort of on display, and you have to be okay with being vulnerable. In my career, I was very vulnerable with connecting with people emotionally with what was going on with them. So it's a little bit hard for me to figger out how to put that into words.
You're doing great.
Like when I launched this collection, I put my pieces out on the internet, and I did all this. I did publicity on Instagram, not that much, but I really I felt like I conveyed to people sort of the joy that I felt with these creations. And I got a lot of comments from people about that they could feel that too. Oh, this isn't just a piece of art. This is a piece of something that expresses your soul.
Yeah.
And I learned that people like making that connection. And I think you can make it as an artist and as a physician. To be a surgeon, you have to be fearless. I mean, you can't cut into someone's body and get close to their blood vessels and their heart and their liver and their stomach without being fearless. I mean, you can't do that. And so I think that having that fearlessness has taken me to good places with painting. I feel like making bold moves comes naturally to me, and it's just my personality. One of the funnest parts of being a surgeon was being in the operating room. You're not sort of formal and decorous and, thinking about what you're doing. I mean, you're talking about your kids and you're talking about your vacation you're going to go on.
Yep.
So you're kind of talking about things and you're socializing with people. But if something happens, like somebody starts to bleed or their blood pressure drops or something happens, like you immediately become laser focused on the problem.
Yeah.
And you can switch from that sort of, I took my
joviality.
Yeah, to boom, it's those, making those transitions fast, I think is one of the things that I enjoyed about that. The way my art practice has changed is that I've taken on this, started to learn this totally new thing with the painting. I realized that I really love experimenting with painting, which I guess isn't surprising for somebody who was a scientist. They experiment.
Yeah.
But I do. I love being free to experiment. I think it just all comes down to being able to play. It's just a matter of playing and having fun with the materials and like I said, there's always been something in my personality that I've needed to make things and needed to create things, and I'm not really that interested in the thing. I'm interested in experiencing the creative process. It's always been all about the process. I think people have been focusing on some important things this year, our society in general, not being able to be as busy and running around all the time, and traveling and doing all the things that we've done with our lives. I think so many people in the world have really stepped back. I think that for the artist community, it's been even more of a step back. But I do think that there's more engagement. Yeah, there's a lot of support and encouragement and celebration and kindness. People are just nice.
Yeah.
I think that's why I like being part of the member of the artist communities, because it doesn't, artists aren't mean people.
That ties into.
It does ties into the other thing. It's like, there's a reason I'm not hanging out with a bunch of politicians.
Right. Yeah.
Because artists are nice.
Artists are kind.
Yeah, artists are nice and they're kind and they have good hearts for the most part. Some of them are assholes, but in general they do.
Yeah. Beautiful. I feel like that's kind of a beautiful place to